Good afternoon and welcome back to the Murray Center, where your Rhode Island College Anchorwomen are set to take on the University of Southern Maine Huskies in a Little East Conference matchup. And Andrew, what are the keys to today's game?
Well, I think that the Anchorwomen need to get off to a fast start.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
They've had a little bit of struggles. They've had a bit of a road stretch there, so I think if they can get some momentum going here at home, I think they can start a favorable matchup in their favor.
Absolutely. And we're going to rise for the national anthem and starting lineups.
Today we support Blue Out 2015 in the advancement of prostate cancer awareness. Please help us fund prostate cancer research by purchasing special Play for the Cure t-shirts, Anchor Strong bracelets, and ribbon pins in the lobby. All proceeds from these sales will go directly towards cancer research. And now let's meet the starting lineups for today's game. For the visiting Huskies, at forward, a 6-foot junior from Portland, Maine, number 41, Ella Ramones. At guard, a 5'7" senior from Sanford, Maine, number 23, Taylor Flood. At the other forward, a 6'1" junior from Winslow, Maine, number 33, Megan Pelletier. At guard, a 5'7" senior from York, Maine, number 15, co-captain Stephanie Gallagher. And at guard, a 5'10" senior from Alfred, Maine, number 20, co-captain Rebecca Knight. Head coach of the Huskies is Gary Fifield. Assisting him are Samantha Allen and Rachel Burns. And now, introducing the starting lineup for your Rhode Island College Anchorwomen. At guard, a 5'6" freshman from Newton, Massachusetts, number 12, Jessa Rivera. At forward, a 6-foot junior from Danielson, Connecticut, number 21, Devin Hill. At guard, a 5'7" sophomore from West Newbury, Massachusetts, number 10, Alex Moore. At guard, a 5'7" freshman from West Brookfield, Massachusetts, number 3, Jess Corsick. And at guard, a 5'7" junior from Manhattan, Connecticut, number 13, Michelle Lagrateria. Head coach for Rhode Island College is Glenn Senecal. Assisting him is Rachel Ferry.
So as we look at the matchup today, Southern Maine 7-4 in conference matchups, and the Anchorwomen just 4-7.
Navigant Credit Union, Uncle Tony's Pizza and Pasta.
And the Anchorwomen started small today. Jessa Rivera getting the start. A little bit of a difference from previous games.
Definitely. This is only our second start of the season, so maybe it's just something that they saw in practice or just a different matchup that they like in recent games. But it'll be interesting to see how that affects their gameplay early on and obviously play off the bench as well.
Absolutely. So as we get ready for a tip-off, Anchorwomen in white, Huskies in blue with the yellow. Devin Hill to tip off. And we're underway. Huskies winning the tip-off. Ball being passed around. Brought back up to the top of the key. Ramones gives it to the right wing to Flood. Flood drives in and a foul is called. Early foul on Alex Moore.
10, Alex Moore. That's her first personal.
Gallagher to inbound.
Team first.
And she hands it in. Almost loses the ball, but Gallagher gets it back. Up to the top of the key. Now left wing. Pass down low. Shot no good. And rebound, nice effort by Jessa Rivera to chase it down. Korzak with the ball. Gives it to Hill. Hill, shot no good. Rebound Korzak. Back up to Moore. Korzak driving in. Passes to Lagrateria. Fakes the jumper. Now shoots it off the dribble and it's blocked. And taken away by Flood. Flood passes it up to Gallagher. Left wing being guarded by Rivera. Back up to the top of the key to Ramones. He hands it off to Knight. Knight back down to Ramones. Loses it, picked off by Hill. And just a good defensive effort early in this game.
On both ends, the defense has been good. But certainly the Anchorwomen seem to be playing some very tight defense and playing difficult inside. So it'll be interesting to see if they can keep that momentum going as this game progresses.
Korzak gives it to Moore. Moore drives in. And she draws the foul and she'll be at the line.
Husky foul, charge number 41, Ella Ramones. That's her first personal. Team first. Alex Moore is at the line, shooting 2.
Alex Moore on the season, a 77% free throw shooter. She makes her first. Minute and a half through.
It's been a lot of
first half and only first point on the board.
been a lot of stingy defense on both ends.
And she makes them both. And the Huskies beat the full court press. Now Knight passes it. Shot, no good. And out of bounds, Anchorwomen ball. Rivera running the Anchorwomen offense.
It'll be interesting to see if they try to keep the press going as throughout the game or just bring it back sporadically as a defensive tactic. Just bring it back sporadically as like a surprise thing, or if they want to keep a constant pressure on the defensive end. So it'll be interesting to
Rivera
watch.
drives in, no foul called. And out of bounds, still Anchorwomen ball. Korzak to inbound. She gets it up to Moore. Moore fakes the three, gives it to Hill. Hill back up to Moore. Moore drives in and gets blocked. And it's going to be Anchorwomen ball with 2 seconds on the shot clock.
You should like 3 blocks or something like that on the Anchorwomen's possessions in the first 2 minutes of this game.
And tapped out of bounds. As we can hear Coach Senecal said, they never touched it.
No,
Should be 2 seconds on the shot clock.
I agree.
And it'll be a shot clock violation.
Shot clock violation, Anchorwomen.
Nothing much you can do there. Even with the 2 seconds, there wasn't really much that you're able to do. Just good defense by Southern Maine. Just something that Anchorwomen need to adjust to is the pressure they've been putting.
Ramones passes down low. It's going to be tipped out of bounds off of Alex Moore. And Gallagher will inbound. Now Ramones passes it. Ball being moved around. Flood back to Gallagher. Shot is good from Pelletier.
Megan Pelletier.
Rivera calling for help and gets it to Alex Moore. Moore back to Rivera. And Lagrateria with the ball in the left wing. Ribera back to Lagrateria, back to Korzek. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Korzek gets a shot off and knocks it down. And there's the floater that almost seems automatic whenever she takes it. Down low, Pelletier for 2.
Well, Southern Maine's been just taking away their inside game, which obviously is their bread and butter. But Korzek made a nice drive to the basket, was able to get the floater up.
Ribera to Korzek. And up to Lagrateria, down to Hill for 2. 6-4 game early on. Anchorwomen with the lead. And a foul called
Anchorwomen foul, charge number 21.
on Devin Hill.
That's her first personal. Team second.
Ramones to Pelletier. Finds Gallagher, right wing down low. And Ramones draws the foul.
Anchorwomen foul, charge number 13. Michelle Lagrateria.
That'll be Lagrateria's first foul.
Yeah.
Team third.
I think Indy Anchorwomen were playing some pretty good defense early. They've been very aggressive in their playing the ball, and they've really just taken away Southern Maine's a lot of their chances, and they've just been not giving them an inch inside, especially. So they've done a pretty good job early.
Ramones misses her first. 68%, free throw shooter on the season. And she misses them both. Hill with the rebound.
Ball don't lie.
That is correct. Moore with the ball, top of the key. Hits Ribera. Ribera moving around with it. And hands it back to Moore. Drives in. No good. Looked like she was looking for a foul, but no call.
Yeah. It was a good handoff, though.
Flood gives it to Knight. Up for 2.
Rebecca Knight.
Korzek gets it back to Ribera. Korzek to Lagrateria, back to Korzek. And to Moore. Moore back to Korzek, down to Hill. Hill drives in. She's gone for the travel.
Traveling violation.
They can't seem to find any room on the inside, and they've had issues with this in the past. It'll be interesting to see what kind of an adjustment they can make to try to open up the lanes on the inside. Because certainly Southern Maine is not giving them an inch and giving them any space to operate down there.
Padalano will be the first off the bench for the Anchorwomen as Anderson comes in for Southern Maine. Anchorwomen and Huskies doing a great job defensively so far.
Most definitely.
A nice block by Hill. I think she got a piece of it. And a foul called on Pelletier.
33, Megan Pelletier. That's her first personal. Team second.
So Padalano comes in for Ribera.
Anchorwomen substitution number 25, Jessica Padalano. Replaces Jessica Rivera.
And Moore gives it to Korzek. Korzek to Padalano. Back to Moore. Finds Hill down low. And back up to Lagrateria. Korzek to Padalano. And great ball movement so far.
Definitely. They just can't get inside where they like.
And Moore's shot is no good. Rebound Pelletier. And Gallagher with the ball. And they said it went off of Padalano. Looked like it was just a bad pass.
Not 100%, but just the call.
Shot no good from Anderson. And Anchorwomen ball out of bounds.
Yeah, I guess they're saying Knight stepped out of bounds. They've I mean, defensively, they've done very well. They've been contesting shots, and they haven't been giving them a lot of easy opportunities. It's just offensively, they've been getting it right, that same defensive effort right back from Southern Maine.
Moore for 3. No good. Rebound, Padalano throws it up wild, no good. And Anchorwomen ball.
It seems like they're trying to set it up and get it down the hill, down low. And every time they do that,
They're triple teaming her.
Yeah, they just flow right to her. So they're just gonna find a way.
Hill for 3. Shot no good, way off.
I think you can try to take advantage of that, and you can say, oh, if you're gonna triple team one of our players, then you can try to set something up and try to have somebody else drive, and then just try to pass it out to them and try to get something to work. So certainly, that's going to be something that Coach Senecal must be discussing right now, because they, as we've said, I mean, they're playing very well defensively. They just need to figure out their offense and get that going. But had a very defensive 6 minutes in this game so far. Hasn't been a lot of obviously a lot of points and not many second chance opportunities. It's been very solid defense on both ends.
Absolutely. 13:53 to go. Score is tied up at 6s. And it'll be Huskies ball. And both teams very solid defensively. A lot of blocks on both sides. Not many steals so far.
No, it's just been a lot of
good ball control, a lot of good ball movement.
Yeah, just haven't been able to find the open spaces with the ball movement either team. But it's gonna be interesting to see which team can figure out the other's defense first, because certainly that's gonna be a big pivotal moment in this half, because it's gonna probably be able to get a good points advantage.
And a nice play by Padalano as Moore comes up with the steal. Trying the baseball throw all the way down.
Yeah, made a Malcolm Butler play on that pass.
Korzek up to Padalano. Back to Lagrateria for 3. No good. And rebound Korzek, who drives in and finds Lagrateria. Back up to Moore and to Padalano, who draws a foul on the floor.
They're just not an outside shooting team, so if you can take away the inside game on Rhode Island College, it makes it very difficult for them. So they are trying some different things, trying to get different people inside, but just hasn't been successful as of yet.
3, no good from Moore. Alex Moore coming off an injury.
I see she
starting again today.
Yeah, I can see she has a knee brace, so I don't know if that was the issue or if it was something else. She's been playing hard early on in this one.
Ramones to Gallagher. 3 is no good. Rebound Korzek. And Lagrateria with the ball. He gives it to Hill. Hill driving in. And they say Huskies ball.
Huskies coach is saying there should have been a travel.
And now they change it to Anchorwomen ball.
Are they saying there was a foul on the play and that's why, or?
No, it was signaled Huskies ball.
Oh, because I thought it went off Jess Korzak and went out of bounds, but maybe the ball was already out of bounds when she kicked it.
Lagrateria to Padalano. And to Gonzalez, back to Padalano. Lagrateria to Moore. And Gonzalez going to have to shoot it. And Moore didn't get it off in time. And Gonzalez should have shot that ball.
I agree.
That's 2 shot clock violations for the Anchorwomen.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Southern Maine's has been bringing the shot clock down on them, and they've had to put up wild shots.
And ball tracked down by Pelletier. Back up to Ramones. Now right wing driving in. And ball tied up. It'll be a jump ball. And Anchorwomen possession.
Anchorwomen possession. Anchorwomen substitution, number 31, Colleen McLaughlin.
McLaughlin into the game.
Husky substitution, number 31.
For Korzek.
Not for Hill.
And Lagrateria with the ball. And Padalano.
Good.
Jessica Padalano.
Yeah, I was thinking about this before the game. I think certainly with Alex Moore obviously nursing an injury and whatnot, I think
And tied up. Another jump ball.
I think some other people need to step it up for this team, and I think they all just kind of, it's easier if everybody steps up a little bit and makes some plays as opposed to putting on a couple of people. So I think some different people just need to find a hot hand in this game and be able to make some plays.
Ramones with the ball. And an offensive foul.
Husky offensive foul, charge number 20.
Illegal screen called on Knight.
That's our first personal. Team 4.
Ribeiro with the ball. So Padalano passes up to Lagrateria and back to Ribeiro. Now Lagrateria with it. Gives it to Gonzalez. Back to Lagrateria. All the way over. Padalano. 3 is no good. And rebounded by Anderson.
Well, the Huskies seem to
Gallagher with the ball.
They seem to just be forcing them to pass it around, and then they have to throw up a wild shot as the shot clock's expiring. We have a change of possession. But you just need to be able to set up plays, be able to put up more quality shots. So obviously, you just get the shots up quicker, you get the opportunities better, because if you got to wait until the last second in the shot clock, most likely you're going to have to be shooting from an uncomfortable position, from an uncomfortable place.
Ramona's coming up with the steal. And Knight looking down low, throws it out of bounds. A lot of turnovers in this game, and not many of them from steals.
No, I was thinking the same thing. There's been a lot of errant passes in this game. Just a lot of pressure from the Anchorwomen and forcing Southern Maine to.
And Padalano knocks down a 3.
Padalano for 3.
And they've been forcing them to pass the ball before they're comfortable and whatnot. So they've done a very solid job defensively.
Huskies.
Huskies call the timeout. 11-6. Anchorwomen lead the Huskies. As Padalano just knocked down that 3.
Yeah, it'd also be helpful if they could get some perimeter shots to fall, because then you make the Huskies, they have to respect their perimeter game and they have to play that more. But just because they haven't been able to get that established early into that Padalano 3, they can just keep with their game plan of taking away the inside and taking away people like Devin Hill and Colleen McLaughlin on the inside and in that threat. So if they can get if they can get some of that perimeter shooting going, it'll certainly make for an easier game and a better way to open up the offense.
Huskies with the ball. And they give it to Anderson. Pass down low to Ramones. Shot no good. Rebound. Get their own rebound. Corner. Gallagher. Back to Anderson. Ramones for 3. No good. Now Gonzalez looking for help and finds Lagrateria. And Ribeiro gives it to Padalano. And back to Gonzalez, back to Ribeiro. McLaughlin, nice pass down low to Padalano, who can't finish it off. And Anderson running the floor and can't get the shot to fall. Gallagher. So Anderson drives in left side, draws a foul on the floor.
You know, something I was thinking of, and certainly I haven't seen any Southern Maine games this year, but I'm getting this feeling that both these teams are very similar in the fact that they're both inside shooting teams that like to apply defensive pressure. So it's interesting just that they play the same game, so they're just kind of trying to figuring each other out in similar ways and how to stop each other in similar ways.
Knight misses a shot, and Moore comes down with it. Moore, Korzak, and Hill all back into the game. for Rivera, McLaughlin, and Gonzalez. Hill up to Padalano, gives it to Lagrateria. Three is no good. And good effort by Alex Moore, but nobody there. Gallagher passes it up to Anderson. Pass down low.
Anchorwomen foul, charge number 3.
And Gallagher will go to the line.
It's her first personal. Team fifth. Stephanie Gallagher's at the line, shooting 2.
Gallagher, 64% free throw shooter on the season.
Just saying the fouls before the shot, which I don't know. I thought the whistle was kind of late. That's why I was surprised. I didn't know if they were gonna count it as an and one or what, but apparently that's how they ruled it.
Rebounded by Korzak. Now Moore with the ball. Korzak back to Moore. And kickball. Padalano to inbound.
This is an extremely low-scoring game.
Passes to Hill. And a travel called.
Travel violation. Anchorwomen.
See some questionable calls early. No doubt about it.
Gallagher with the ball. And great defensive play. And it was Padalano again.
She's been playing very well on both ends of the court. Certainly knocked down that three-pointer. And she's been playing good defense. Along with the rest of the team has just been playing extremely tight defense.
Padalano leads the game with 5 points. Knight driving in. Right hook, no good.
30 seconds.
And a timeout called by Coach Senecal. 11-6 the score in favor of the Anchorwomen. 7:42 to go in the first half. And like you already said, a very low-scoring game.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, 17 combined points, but a little under 8 minutes left in the first half. I mean, that's a rock fight for you.
It's a defensive game.
Yeah. They've no, but you just watch the sequence of events with when the Huskies have the ball. I mean, they're trying to pass it back and forth, and even, you know, they try to drive in a little bit, and you know, there's two or three defenders there for the Anchorwoman, and they just gotta kind of fling up the shot, and just not able to get a lot of accuracy on it and shoot from some uncomfortable places and positions. So certainly a good job by the defense so far for the Anchorwoman.
Korzak finds Palladino and gives it to Moore. Back to Palladino and back to Korzak. And Korzak throws it away, picked off by Knight. Ramonas to Gallagher. Gallagher on the right wing, passes it down low to Ramonas. Up for 2.
Hello, Ramonas.
Padalano now with the ball. Gives it to Palladino. Palladino back to Padalano and back to Moore. Pass looking down low for Hill, and the ball is tied up.
Jump ball.
It'll be Anchorwomen ball.
Media timeout.
Another thing they keep doing is getting that ball to Devin Hill, who's getting triple, quadruple teams.
Getting swarmed.
They've provided Rounders with unparalleled
Yeah, it's just
financial products and
we've seen
services.
several teams use this strategy because they know how much of an integral part Devin Hill is to their inside game and just their offense overall. So I think a lot of teams just come into it and just try to shut her down and try to pressure her and see if anybody else can step up. I think right now, in an 11-8 game with 6 minutes left in the first half, I think that the Anchorwomen need to try to figure out who to pass the ball to, who can try to give some more opportunities, because certainly the traditional style of play of just dishing it into Devin Hill and trying to get the easy buckets is not gonna
work against this team, and it's not gonna beat this team.
No, it's just the only thing they have going for them is they're playing equally good defense on the other end of the floor, and it's just the way this game's been. But this isn't going to hold up. I mean, I think in the second half, I think the game's going to open up a little bit. We're going to get some points, but I think both these teams are defensive teams and whatnot, and I think that it'll start to open up a little bit, and that's where they have to figure it out, how they want to approach the game differently.
Palladino gives it to Hill. Hill, open shot, knocks it down.
Good job giving her some space on the inbounds.
And Hill, as we've seen, can knock down the open shots. When she gets contested, she's got a hard time. Ramones back to Knight. Over to the other side. Gallagher drives in and draws a foul.
You just see that sequence of events. There was at least 4 people around the ball for the Anchorwomen. They just crashed in there when Gallagher tried to go in for the drive. So they've just got something good working for them on defense.
And Gallagher makes it first. Anderson back into the game. Lagerteria back into the game. And Megan Reel into the game.
Substitutions, number 22, Megan Reel. Number 13, Michelle Lagerteria.
And she makes them both.
Husky substitution, number 25.
Both teams finally in the double digits. Southern Maine just hit the 10-point mark here.
Moore gives it to Korzek. And Lagerteria, good awareness. And pass way over Moore's head from Palladino. And another turnover.
Yeah, we've seen that from both teams. Just pass their little off and whatnot, and it's just gonna find some rhythm to get the offense going, get some flow.
Pelletier gives it to Gallagher, next down to Anderson. And a foul called on the floor.
Anchorwomen foul, charge number 33, Jill Palladino.
On Palladino.
That's her first personal. A team limit.
So the Huskies are in the bonus.
Shooting 1 and 1.
And she misses her free throw. Ramona's 68% free throw shooter on the season.
Southern Maine's kind of struggled a bit from the line all day. They've gotten the opportunities and they haven't been able to convert. And we always say in games this close, if it stays this close, those shots can come back to haunt you down the stretch.
And Anchorwomen ball. McLaughlin back into the game.
Anchorwomen substitution, number 31, Colleen McLaughlin. Replaces Jill Palladino.
And Reel to inbound. And she finds Korzek. Korzek drives in, passes down low to McLaughlin. And she draws the foul. Great play by Lagerteria to read off the block.
Definitely.
Megan Pelletier.
Some good passes there. Korzek to McLaughlin, then obviously you just touched on that pass back to McLaughlin.
And she misses her first. McLaughlin just 60% free throw shooter on the season.
Number 20, Rebecca Knight replaces Megan Pelletier.
And Knight back into the game for Pelletier. And she misses them both, rebounded by Megan Reel. Moore finds Lagerteria, who throws it out of bounds off of Anderson. A good play.
Definitely.
Always been one of my favorites. I don't think it's used nearly enough.
One of the Gianmarco gems.
And again, we are live on WXIN and Anchor TV. Mike Gianmarco alongside Andrew Spaziano. Lagerteria misses it, and that's another shot clock violation.
It looks like, from what I can tell, it looks like Southern Maine's playing, I believe, a 2-3 zone. And I'll have to double check that in the next possession. But you can just see that they're just flowing to the ball very well, and they're just taking away opportunities to get inside. They're just swarming to anybody who gets within the 3-point line and starts making a move. They're all over them.
Ramones draws the foul on McLaughlin.
Foul, charge number 31, Colleen McLaughlin. It's her first personal, a team limit.
We've seen low-scoring games since we started doing these basketball games, but this is another
line,
level.
Shooting 1 and 1.
It is definitely a whole new level.
A whole new level of defense.
And she knocks him down. Ramona's 4 points on the day. Korzak gives it to Lagerteria. Back to Korzak. Drives in. And no good. Now Anderson with the ball in the corner. Passes it down to Ramones, who saves it and gets it right back to Anderson. And a foul called. And now they call the travel.
Huskies. Anchorwomen substitution number
Oh, don't
32,
lie.
Very late
Rebecca
call.
Gonzalez
It was.
replaces Megan Real.
Couple of odd officiating calls so
Yeah.
far. Moore for 3. No good.
I was able to find that touch yet from beyond the arc. I want to say she's maybe 0 for 3, 0 for 4, something like that from 3-point range, but I'm not 100%.
And Flood up for 2. Huskies lead 14-13. 3.5 to go in the first half. Lagerteria back to Moore. Moore down to Korzak. And Huskies ball. As we wait for the call,
Timeout. Anchorwomen.
Coach Senecal calls the timeout.
It looked like he was going to signal Anchorwoman ball, and he changed his mind. He switched it to Southern Maine. I mean, it was a play along the side, on the far sideline from our perspective, so it's kind of difficult to tell, especially you have to keep into account stepping on the line or whatever, which is really hard to discern from here. But he had a better look than we did, and it was kind of a difficult one to discern. So
Right. Couple questionable calls, as we already said.
yeah, I mean, it certainly hasn't been. We've definitely seen worse officiating.
Oh, most definitely.
But definitely been some interesting ones early on. One thing I've noticed is that the Huskies haven't gotten a lot of points from the floor, but it's because I think that aggressive defense that Rhode Island College with, they've drawn enough fouls that where they're able to just they're in a bonus now, where they can just get to the line and they're able to get points that way. Because that's how they get the majority of their points to take the lead in this one. It's from the line, wasn't necessarily from the floor. So something's an observation I made.
Knight to inbound, and she gets it to Flood. And back to Gallagher. Jessa Rivera should be coming off the bench for the Anchorwomen. Flood back to Ramones, down low. And great defensive play. Gonzalez called for a travel.
Traveling violation. Anchorwomen.
Look, they just moved their pivot foot.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
Number 12, Jessa Rivera.
Rivera into the game for Korzak.
Look, they just pivoted back and went to go find someone to pass for, but that's not what they called.
And good job by McLaughlin to try to get the charging call. Goes uncalled. Knight, no good. And Anchorwomen ball.
Good job. I believe that was more down low. Contesting the shot and not making the contact. Just a very good job of just holding position and being able to contest it and gain possession on the turnover.
Ribeiro with the ball. Finds Moore. Moore driving around left side. And a foul called against the Huskies.
Husky foul, charge number 15, Stephanie Gallagher.
McLaughlin to Moore. 3, no good. And rebound Knight. She knocks it down and a foul called.
Anchorwomen foul, charge number 31.
I didn't see anything, and then
That's her second personal.
there's a late whistle too.
A team limit. Ella Ramones is at the line, shooting 1.
And sometimes there's nothing you can do.
Then you have to contest the shot, and if it goes in, it goes in.
And she converts the three-point play. 17-13, Huskies lead. 2 minutes to go in the half. McLaughlin finds Lagrateria. Back up to Rivera. Some more for 3. Finally knocks one down.
Finally got that touch from downtown.
And when she heats up, she
Yeah.
heats up.
Most definitely.
17-16 the score. Ramones with the ball. Gets it to Knight. And a lot of their offense, if she gets called for the travel, has been based around those two players, Ramones and Knight.
Definitely.
Moore now controlling the offense. And finds Ribera. Ribera back to Moore. And to Lagrateria. That may have been deflected. Gonzalez. And it's tied up. And that should be Huskies' ball.
Husky possession.
Knight to inbound for the Huskies. And gets it to Gallagher and back to Knight.
We trickle down under a minute here in the first half.
Gallagher to Anderson. Now down low to Ramones. Back to Anderson for 3. Got it.
Able to get some space out there. They kind of got caught up trying to defend the inside and was able to get an uncontested open opportunity.
Pass down low.
Anchorwomen substitution, number 3, Jess Korzak.
Korzak back into the game for
Replacing
Gonzalez.
Rebecca Gonzalez.
Knight with the ball. And what a first half this has been.
Definitely.
Very solid defensive first half, both teams. Gallagher back to Ramones. Now Anderson down low to Ramones. No good. And that'll be the end of the first half. Your score: the University of Southern Maine Huskies 20, Rhode Island College Anchorwomen 16. Right here on WXIN and Anchor TV. We are back for the second half of action between the Huskies and the Anchorwomen. Right here live on WXIN and Anchor TV. Mike Giammarco alongside Andrew Spaziano. And that first half, very defensive first half. The score only 20-16 in favor of the Huskies. And Andrew, 10 seconds, key to the second half.
Anchorwomen need to get their offense rolling because you can't just play defense with no offense all game and expect to get a W out of it. So they need to get their offense going.
Nice. Perfect timing, right into the point. And it will be Anchorwomen ball to start the second half. As things get situated, Padalano to inbound. Starting lineup on the floor for both teams. Only exception is Padalano in for Ribera. Moore gives it to Hill. Hill fakes it. Back to Moore for three. No good. Rebound Gallagher. And we still have yet to see that successful full court press.
Nope,
But never rule it out.
they've weaned it in every once in a while, but they haven't sustained it and really created any turnovers off it or anything.
Shot no good. Rebound Hill. Moore with the ball. Driving in, passing down low. And deflected out of bounds. Anchorwomen ball.
I guess you're saying it kicked off one of the defenders.
They'll take it.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
Lagrateria fakes it back to Korzak. Hill finds Moore. And Padalano back to Moore. Finds Korzak down low. No good. And rebound to Padalano up for two.
Nice play.
Jess Padalano.
She's been one of the few offensive sparks they've had in this game, and she's played well defensively and just shown a lot of awareness in her game, getting some good rebounds and second chance opportunities we just saw there.
And offensively also, 7 points for Padalano off the bench.
Definitely.
And a foul called.
Anchorwoman foul, charge number 25, Jessica Padalano. That's her first personal, team first. Megan Pelletier's at the line, shooting two.
Pelletier's at the line. 69% free throw shooter on the season. Misses her first.
And you can just you can see Southern Maine has had some issues from the line. They were 5 for 10 at the half.
And misses them both.
I believe they're now 5 for 12.
So under 50%.
Yeah, and those are the baskets you need to make. It's a 2-point game now. As I said before,
Moore for three. No good.
those points can come back and haunt you at the end of a close game. Especially if you're on a losing end, you can think, you know, you made a few of those free throws. It's a whole different story.
Gallagher with the ball, being guarded by Padalano. And she gets it to Flood. Flood down low and picked off by Lagrateria initially. Deflected from Hill. And Korzak up for two. Tie game. 20 apiece. 18 minutes to go in the game. Pelletier shot wild. Rebounded by Padalano. Hill driving in. And she's called for a travel.
Traveling violation, Anchorwomen.
And Anderson back into the game for Flood.
For 25, Gretchen Anderson replaces Taylor Flood.
And Coach Senecal not happy with that call.
No. I could you see why they called it, but I expected a foul, honestly. I think
Agreed.
that's probably what coach is thinking as well.
Anderson for three. Got it.
Gretchen Anderson
That was a textbook perfect three-pointer.
Most definitely, and we've only seen 4 3-pointers combined from both teams in this game, so it's certainly they've been few and far between, but you convert them when you're able to. It's the big thing.
Moore passes down low to Hill. No good. Hill with their own rebound and a foul called before the shot.
Husky foul, charge number 33.
Foul on Pelletier.
It's her third personal. Team first.
Hill's had a difficult time offensively, but she's still been making plays.
Hill for three. Got it.
He makes one there.
For three.
And Hill also with 7 points today. Ramones Gives it to Anderson. And Anderson back to Gallagher, fakes the three. And she gets it to Knight for two.
Rebecca Knight.
Moore with the ball. Gets it to Padalano and back to Moore. Hill. No good. Rebound, Ramones. Gallagher to Anderson. And back up to Ramones. Fakes the three, drives in. Pass down low. And up for two
Rebecca Knight.
was Knight.
Timeout. Huskies.
And Huskies take the timeout.
I think it's interesting they took the timeout when they've gone on a bit of a run here. You would have expected Coach Senecal to take one and try to kill off the momentum, but interesting call for the timeout. But they've, I said this in the first half, and I think we're starting to see it here. This game's gonna open up offensively because you can play good defense, but you can't. I don't think you can play shutdown defense for a full 40 minutes. I mean, you're gonna have your moments, and I just think we're starting to see now Southern Maine's getting through that Rhode Island College defense a little bit and getting inside penetration. And I think on the flip side, we haven't seen it enough from the Anchorwomen where they've been able to get their consistent offensive opportunities. So I think they need to figure something out. Certainly, they've got a couple good baskets. Devin Hill with a three-pointer, but they need to be able to find ways to work the ball inside where they're most comfortable.
Agreed. (27-23) Huskies lead. 16 minutes to go in the second half. Anchorwomen ball. And nicely checks into the game for Southern Maine. Moore passes it out of bounds. Lagrateri unable to handle the pass. And Gallagher drives.
They've just been so out of sync on offense, and just haven't been able to get into a rhythm. Just had a difficult time passing, and as I've said multiple times, getting the ball inside and getting off quality shots.
Nicely to Knight. Knight driving in. He draws a foul on Korzak.
Anchorwomen foul. Charge number 3, Jess Korzak. That's her second personal. Team second.
Rivera into the game for Padalano.
Jessa Rivera replaces Jess Padalano.
Padalano great off the bench today.
Oh, definitely.
And a travel call on Knight.
Traveling violation. Huskies.
Moore with the ball. Passes it down to Korzak, who draws a foul before she drives in.
Husky foul, charge number 41, Ella Ramones. That's her second personal, team second.
And Hill with the ball. Down to Korzak. Up to Lagrateri for three. No good. Rebound Gallagher. All the way up, recovered by nicely. And Gallagher with the ball near center court. The ball being moved around, Ramones with it. Back to Gallagher, and down low to Knight. And a foul called again on Korzak.
That's two
Anchorwomen foul, charge
very
number 3,
soft fouls.
Jess Korzak.
Agreed.
Questionable.
That's her third personal, team third.
Ramones with the ball, top of the key. Finds Gallagher, fakes a three. Passes it down to Knight. Up for two.
Rebecca Knight.
Moore with the ball, back to Rivera. Back to Moore. ball being moved around and find Hill down low. No good. Normally two, but we've seen up to 4 defenders on Devin Hill at one time.
Definitely, and I think that's just what a lot of teams have been keying on, especially of late, is that they know how pivotal she is in offensive production. They just try to take her out and
Ramonis no good. Rebound Knight.
try to make everybody else work.
And Ramonis knocks it down.
Ella Ramones. Timeout. Anchorwomen.
Coach Senecal takes the timeout. 8-point Husky lead. The biggest lead of the day. 31-23 the score.
Shopping, dining, movies. There's something for everyone.
We're live on
for all.
WXIN and Anchor TV. Mike J. Marco alongside Andrew
With a flavor
Spaziano.
crisp taste, Diet Pepsi gives you all the refreshment you need.
13:48 to go in
Zero
regulation.
sugar, calories, and carbs.
We've
We got
had
Diet Pepsi and all your favorite
an
Pepsi
interesting
products
game,
today.
very defensive
Diet Pepsi.
oriented. Now
Love every sip.
it seems as though the
This guy's
Huskies have
pizza,
found some
80
offensive
Greenville
rhythm,
Ave
whereas
Johnson.
the Anchorwomen
Always great
haven't
selection
found much of
pizza,
any rhythm.
student discounts, and free
They've gotten
delivery.
little spurts of
Home
points, but they
F-bomb
can't
and
get
barbecue.
consistent
You'll
production
see why we're
when
so
they're on
good.
their offensive possessions, and it's just shown. Obviously, the Huskies have gone on a bit of a run with points, but it's just shown throughout this half. And I think even when you can't get the offense going, I think it makes it obviously more difficult on your defense. Whereas you try to lock down a little bit more, but even like in transition and whatnot, it just puts a lot more pressure on you, and just makes obviously if you can't get points on the board, you get the ball in the hoop, just makes it a lot more difficult for you to win a game without points.
Absolutely. And we'll see if the Anchorwomen can finally find that rhythm they need.
They gotta find something. Somebody's gonna step up, or they gotta find a soft spot in this defense to take advantage of.
More Padalano, Gonzalez, Palladino, and Hill on the floor for the Anchorwomen. Hill's shot no good. And jump ball.
Jump
It's
ball.
going to be Southern Maine ball.
Husky possession.
Knight being guarded by Moore. Now Anderson with it. Right wing. Nice screen set by Ramonis. And nicely hands it off to Knight. Knight to Anderson. Ramonis drives in. And she gets it up for 2.
Ella Ramones.
Lead is now double digits, 33-23. And picked off by Anderson. And now picked off by Gonzalez. Jump ball and Anchorwomen ball.
Another nice play by Padalano. He's able to come in on that transition, knock the ball out, and able to,
Jayla Stacy.
as a result, able to force the jump ball and get the possession back. It's been a very sluggish offensive game. They just can't seem to get it going.
And Moore passes it out of bounds. Couple bad passes from her today.
You know, it's very uncharacteristic because, I mean, we've seen them have offensive struggles, but just we've never seen them have as much of an issue with passing and whatnot. It's just very uncharacteristic. They're usually good with the fundamental aspects of the game.
Pass down low to Nicely. Now Knight hands it off. Pelletier's shot's no good. Hill with the rebound. Ribeiro running the floor. Palladino. Now back to Padalano. No good. Off the pass from Gonzalez. Now Stacy may have gotten away with the travel.
Which it's interesting because they've been calling a lot of interesting travel calls throughout the game. They're very strict with it.
Rebecca Knight.
And Knight up for 2. 12-point lead. Palladino fakes the 3 and draws a foul.
Husky foul, charge number 14, Kayla Stacy. It's her first personal, team third.
Gonzalez with the ball. Hands it back to Palladino. Shot no good. And it's going to stay Anchorwomen ball. Palladino. And an offensive foul called on Hill.
Anchorwomen offensive foul, charge number 21, Devin Hill. It's her third personal, team fourth.
Knight with the ball. Almost loses it.
Still a lot of time in this game. If they can get their offense rolling, I mean, they're still playing some pretty solid defense. It's just
Knight, no good. Rebound Pelletier. And a foul is called.
there's always so much you could do and so much you could stop because there's going to be baskets scored on you. It's just the way the game is. But when you can't get any production on the other end, I mean, they only have 7 points in this half. If you think about it.
And another foul called. This time will be against the Huskies. Ramona's back into the game.
Team four. Husky substitution number 41. Ella Ramonas.
Palladino passes it off. And shot is good from Devin Hill.
As much as we've highlighted the fact that Hill's had a bit of a difficult game,
Foul on Padalano.
Anchorwomen foul, charge number 25.
Coach Senecal not happy about it.
That's your second personal.
And Caitlin McElroy into the game for the first time today, along with Michelle Lagrateria. Gallagher gives it to Knight.
Husky offensive foul, charge number 20, Rebecca Knight.
And fell on Knight.
That's her second personal. Team fifth.
Again, just waiting for that call.
Yeah.
Seemed like an obvious one, but
Number 23, Taylor Flood.
Yeah, it's been very, they've taken their time in deciding which way they want some of these calls to go, but it's certainly the right one there.
McElroy, 3 no good. And out of bounds. It'll be Anchorwomen ball.
He shot for Hill getting a rebound. You know, we've highlighted the fact she's had a tough game, but she has the most points on this team today. She's got 9, Devin Hill. So it certainly, despite we perceive as struggle, she's still been able to help the team out.
Hill, shot no good. And Anchorwomen ball. Padalano to McElroy. Sends it back to Ribera. Padalano with the ball. And throws it out of bounds. (35-25), Huskies lead. 9.5 to go in the game. Anderson with the ball, left wing, passes it down low to Ramonas. And a timeout called
Timeout, Huskies.
by the Huskies. Alex Moore to come back into the game for the Anchorwomen.
Yeah, when they have offensive possession, they just kind of sit there and they're waiting for plays to develop, but they just haven't been developing all day. So they kind of get stuck in the situation where they gotta put up bad shots and just low opportunity chances, and it's been a very difficult game, most definitely for the full extent of this game we played so far. Still 9 minutes to play.
And like you said, perimeter shots not falling, mid-range shots not falling, shots down low not falling.
No,
And not many chances from the line.
no, they only at the half they only had 4 free throws, and they've had I think a few chances. They haven't had that many, and it's just they had. And at the half they were. I mean, their field goal percentage was 25%, and I can't see how it's much better in this half. Maybe a little bit, but not any huge significance.
Alex Moore.
Moore back into the game. And Flood hands it to Anderson. Anderson moving it around. And a foul called on McElroy.
Anchorwomen foul, charge number 14, Caitlin McElroy. That's her first personal. A team limit. Gretchen Anderson is at the line, shooting 1-1.
Anderson, a 67% free throw shooter on the season, knocks down her first. And she makes them both. Moore with the ball. 12-point Husky lead. Moore driving in and passing it down low to Hill. No good. Rebound Ramonas.
Just hasn't been able to convert on that fallback shot.
And a good play by Lagerteria. And it's going to be Anchorwomen ball.
Really? Not complaining. I just wasn't what I
More.
thought I saw.
No good. And Anchorwomen just a really tough offensive time today.
He's said it a bunch of times, just haven't been able to convert on any of their shots. Really.
Knight draws the foul.
Anchorwomen foul, charge number 13, Michelle Grateria.
Foul on Lagerteria.
Second personal.
Korzak finally coming back into this game.
I think they've been saving her. She has 3 fouls.
And Knight misses her first.
Although Hills had
Anchorwomen substitution,
3
number
fouls for a while, but
Korzak.
she's done a good job of managing it, and she hasn't accumulated any in a little while now.
And she makes her second. Knight, 74% free throw shooter. Makes 1 or 2. Padalano back to Moore. 3. Got it.
Alex Moore.
Back to a 10-point lead. 38-28. Moore with 8 points on the day.
I think they really need to amp up the full court press here. Another nice play by Padalano. But she, unfortunately, the ball went out of bounds after touching her. But I think they really need to pick up the press. If you got 8 minutes left in the second half here, you gotta get some turnovers.
And a reach and foul going to be called on Padalano.
Anchorwomen foul, charge number 25, Jessica Padalano. That's her third personal. A team limit.
And Gallagher will be at the line.
Stephanie Gallagher's at the line, shooting 1-1.
And she makes it first.
Last time these teams played earlier in the year, it was 56-49, so it was relatively low scoring in that game. We've seen a low scoring affair in this one as well.
Padalano to Lagerteria. Back to Padalano. And back to Moore. Korzak Lagrateria down low to Hill. Shot no good. She draws a foul.
Must be foul. Judge number 41, Ella Ramones. That's her third personal. Team 6, Devin Hill's at the line, shooting 2.
And she makes her first.
She hits double digits
Substitution number
for the day.
31, Colleen McLaughlin, replacing Jessica Padalano.
She makes them both. 10-point game, 40-30 score. Flood with the ball, right wing. Passes it up to the top of the key to Knight. Fakes the shot and gets it to Anderson. And despite the 10-point game, definitely not a lack of defense from the Anchorwomen today.
No, most definitely. I think
They throw it out of bounds.
I think
Anchorwomen ball.
I think the 10-point deficit's more chalked up to their offensive struggles than their defense. I mean, you've given up 40 points with 7 minutes left. I mean, that's nothing to be ashamed of.
And only 25% shooting at the half.
Yeah, it just
Lagrateria back to Hill.
they played well in one phase of the game and not so well in another.
It goes up for 2. Great offensive effort by Hill.
Definitely.
Not sure how that one even went in.
No, I mean, she's been putting up those shots all game and hasn't had much success. And great
Picked
steal.
off by Lagrateria. Who finds more. More. No good. Rebound Hill. And McLaughlin comes up with it.
What a great play by Hill.
Korzak driving in. Up and under for 2.
Still got ourselves a game here.
Lead cut in half. 40-34 the score. And a timeout called.
Timeout, Huskies.
They finally got some mojo going. They got Hill on that the nice shot from around the foul line, which she's been trying to put up those shots all game and just hasn't had much success. Chalk it up to good defense and just kind of they knocked her off her rhythm. But it seems like she's found a little bit of something offensively as of late. She has 13 points, leading the Anchorwoman. And then on the flip side, Lagrateria with a great steal, and then Korzak does a nice job driving in the up and under. So if they can keep an aggressive defense and really start thriving off of some of the momentum they've got defensively,
They can win this game.
they can. There's still 6:20 left. There's plenty of time with a 6-point deficit. I mean, they've shown throughout they have the defense to win this game. It's a question, do they have the offense? So they're going to have to prove that here down the stretch.
Anchorwomen riding a 5-game losing streak dating back to January 27th when they lost to UMass Dartmouth 83-65. Trying to change that today in this conference matchup. Gallagher to Pelletier. Up, no good, and rebound McLaughlin.
Good defensive recovery there by the Anchorwoman on that. They had a pretty open opportunity on the inbound pass, but
Hill. Back to Moore. Fakes the 3. Drives in. Got it.
Alex Moore.
And Alex Moore into double digits with 10 points.
she's found
40-36.
she's definitely found some rhythm in the second half.
Ball being moved around. And great defensive playing by Korzak, as always. And picked up by Moore, and a great play by Alex Moore. And she brings it in and up for 2.
Alex Moore.
2-point lead, 40-38. 5.5 to go in the game.
We got ourselves a ball game now.
And great defensive plays by Korzak and Moore.
It's
Moore coming up with a huge steal.
Exactly what they needed to do.
Gallagher, 3. Got it. Back to a 5-point game, 43-38. And Hill can't handle the pass. And here's the full court press. And now they come off of it a little bit. And Lagrateria with the foul.
Anchorwomen foul, charge number 13, Michelle Lagrateria. That's her third personal. A team limit.
Gallagher's at the line.
Stephanie Gallagher's at the line, shooting 2.
And she makes her first. And she makes them both.
Back up to a 7-point deficit here.
45-38 the score. Pass down to Korzek. Now down to Hill for 2.
Hill!
Pelletier with the ball, top of the key. Now Gallagher. Back to Pelletier. Knight. Driving down, left side. Draws the foul.
Anchorwomen foul.
So
Charge
Knight
number
will be at the
13,
line.
Michelle
5-point
Lagrateria.
game,
That's her fourth
45-40.
personal.
4 minutes to go in the game. Knight at the line.
Rebecca Knight's at the line, shooting 2.
And Knight, a 74% free throw shooter on the season, makes her first.
Anchorwomen
Ramona's back
substitution,
into the
number
game.
25, Jessica Padalano.
And Padalano back into the
Husky
game.
substitution, number 41, Ella Ramones.
She misses her second, rebounded by Moore. Korzek driving in. Down to Hill. No good. And McLaughlin with the rebound. And a foul right away.
Husky foul, charge number 20, Rebecca Knight. That's her third personal. A team limit. Colleen McLaughlin's at the line, shooting 1 and 1.
And McLaughlin makes her first.
She's a 60% free throw shooter, although she's only taken 10 on the whole season. But makes the big one there.
And she makes them both. 4-point game. 46-42, 4 minutes to go. Anderson to Knight. Knight driving in. Foul before
No
the
shot.
shot.
Anchorwomen foul, charge number 10, Alex Moore. That's her second personal. A team limit. Rebecca Knight's at the line, shooting 2.
And she makes her first. Makes them both. Knight, very unconventional free throw shooter, lines up almost all the way to the right side, if you notice that.
Gets the job done, I guess.
Great play by McLaughlin. But throws it away. And she's stepped up today.
Definitely. She's got a couple of good boards and a couple free throws down the stretch here.
Ramones gives it to Gallagher. And back to Pelletier. Anderson, 3, no good. And the foul going to be called against Knight.
Husky offensive foul, charge number 20, Rebecca Knight. It's our fourth personal.
2:56 remaining in the game.
So Knight and Pelletier both have 4 fouls, so they're going to have to be careful down the stretch here.
And Alex Moore at the line, shooting 1-1.
And Ramones is 3.
And she misses it. Rebounded by Hill, who goes up for 2. 48-44.
It's a huge rebound.
2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the game. And ball being moved around by the Huskies. Pelletier down low to Ramones, who can't get it to go. Rebound Pelletier up, no good. Rebound Hill. Now Korzek with the ball. And she gets it back to Padalano. Back to Moore, who fakes the 3. And back to Padalano. Korzek driving in. Moore, 3, no good. And a foul going to be called.
Anchorwomen foul, charge number 25.
They call Padalano for the hold.
Padalano. That's our fourth personal.
I'm just
A team
baffled.
limit.
I'm sorry. I don't see that at all.
Look just like another solid defensive play.
Ella Ramones is at the
No,
line.
I agree.
Shooting 2.
.204 to go in the game. Ramones at the line. 67% free throw shooter, misses it first.
There's always big shots down the stretch. You got to convert them, no matter what team you're on.
And she makes her second. 5-point game.
2 minutes.
Padalano finds more. Now down to Korzek. Korzek back up to Padalano for 3. No good. And Huskies ball. Knight with the ball to Gallagher. And no foul just yet.
No, it's still 2 possessions if you can get a 3 thrown in there. So you just got to get a stop here.
And no good from Anderson. Rebound McLaughlin. And the jump ball.
Jump ball.
Huskies ball.
Husky possession.
And Coach Sadikoff calls the timeout.
Timeout.
And it's a
Anchorwomen.
5-point game with a minute
Attention,
14
please.
to go.
The winner of the 50-50
49-44 the
is
score.
ticket number
Devin Hill with 17 points, followed by Alex Moore with 12. Jess Padalano with 7.
The winner of the 50-50
Jess Korzek
raffle
with
is
6.
ticket number
And Colleen McLaughlin with 2.
401.
They are on the floor for the Anchor
Please
Women.
report to the lobby to receive your prize.
It's been quite the defensive game.
It has. And the Anchorwomen have had a couple opportunities to get it back to a possession, but Southern Maine is able to make some plays and stretch this back out to a 5-point game. And they just made a few more plays in this one, but Anchorwomen still got a minute 14 to play with here. We still got a chance to get back and try to make a run down the stretch here. So we will see.
And within the last 5 minutes or so, both teams finally finding a type of offensive rhythm.
Definitely.
Back-to-back shots here and there, and
Yeah, and Devin Hill's finally found a bit of a groove down low, and the Anchorwomen's offense has finally gotten in sync.
Gallagher passes to Anderson. Now Knight back to Ramones. And McLaughlin fouls Ramones.
Anchorwomen foul, charge number 31. Colleen McLaughlin. That's her third personal. A team limit. Ellen Ramones is at the line.
And it seemed like
Shooting
Coach
two.
Sedekar was calling for that foul much before it happened. And Ramones makes the first.
Yeah, I think he was just doing the math and just
And she makes them both.
figured they could have probably run the clock down to 40 some odd seconds. Trying to save as much clock as you can.
Korzak floater, got it.
Jess Korzak.
And ball being moved around. And a travel
Travel.
call.
Huskies.
$37.8 to go, 5-point game.
So they have basket here and then quick, and then you gotta play some really tight defense.
Moore for three, no good. Rebound Pelletier and a jump ball. And that's gonna be Anchorwomen ball.
Anchorwomen
Great play by Devin Hill.
McLaughlin driving in. Draws the foul.
Husky foul, charge number 41, Ella Ramones. That's her fourth personal. A team limit. Colleen McLaughlin's at the line, shooting two.
McLaughlin makes it first.
Anchorwomen substitutions, number 32, Rebecca Gonzalez.
Gonzalez and Palladino
Jill Palladino.
in for Lagrateria and Hill. Momentarily. So Anchorwomen gonna have to foul.
Timeout. Huskies.
The Huskies take the timeout. 51-48. 24.3 seconds to go. And it's not over yet.
No, it's not. It's just unfortunate they couldn't. That Hill wasn't. I'm sorry. Alex Moore wasn't able to convert in that three. Then you get down to a two-score game, and it's a different strategy. I mean, you're gonna get a stop. I mean, in a perfect world, you get a turnover here on the inbounds or shortly after. But you're right. You're gonna have to foul. There's no shot clock left. So you're gonna have to kind of just leave it up to chance with the Huskies at the line, where they've been a little inconsistent throughout the game from the line. So I mean, I guess you don't have the worst odds when it comes to that, but we'll have to see. We've got 24.3 seconds, 3-point game. We're gonna have to see how this one plays out.
Knight to inbound. And Anderson back to Knight. And Moore fouls her.
Anchorwomen foul, charge number 10, Alex Moore. That's her third personal. A team limit.
Knight will be at the
Rebecca
line.
Knight's at the line, shooting two.
And she makes it first. Gonzalez and Palladino out.
Anchorwomen
Hill and
substitutions,
Lagrateria
number
back
13,
in.
Michelle Lagrateria. And number 21, Devin Hill.
And she makes them both. Back to a 5-point game. Moore for three. Got it.
Alex Moore for three. Timeout, Anchorwomen.
Moore with 15 points on the game.
Did exactly what you need to do there. Just sprint down the court and then throw one up, and got that nice bounce off the rim, and the ball don't lie. You got a sub 2-point game in 10.5 seconds.
Ten and a half seconds to go in the game. 53-51. And Anchorwomen obviously going to have to foul.
Definitely. You just gotta hope you foul, and you gotta hope they miss at least one of the shots. Give yourself a decent chance. You know, likely they're gonna be going for Alex Moore in that 3-point deficit. So each team will 1 timeout as well, left in regulation.
Anchorwomen substitutions, number 32, Rebecca Gonzalez, and number 25, Jess Catalano.
Knight to inbound. And Gallagher's fouled.
Anchorwomen foul, charging number 10, Alex Moore. That's her
Moore's fourth
personal.
foul.
A team limit.
8.4 seconds to go in the game.
Almost had a mad scramble there because that ball was loose for
Stephanie Gallagher's at the line, shooting 2.
a short amount of time, but it was the foul came beforehand.
And she makes her first.
Anchorwomen substitutions, number 21, Devin Hill, and number 13, Michelle Garteria. Husky substitution, number 23, Taylor Flood.
And she makes them both. Moore for 3. No good. And the foul called before time expires, but they wave it off. And that's going to be the end of the game. Final score, Huskies 55, Anchorwomen 51. And just unable to get it done today.
It was no, you're right, but they fought back in this game. They were finally able to find a bit of a groove towards the end offensively, but unfortunately they weren't able to make enough plays down the stretch. So it's unfortunate. It's a tough loss at home, but
And that's six losses in a row now for the Anchorwomen.
yeah, it's just I don't know, they played tough in this one. They just weren't able to finish it off in the end.
Absolutely a tough game, and
You just gotta hope they get a game. You get a game Tuesday. You hope you can get that your last regular season win at home and get a win, and then see if you can get a win in your last road game, and then you get the Little East tournament.
and that's just too bad. Is Anchorwomen finally able to get that rhythm towards the end of the game. And now I'm going to send it down to Andrew Spaziano, who's got Colleen McLaughlin for an interview.
And I'm here with Colleen McLaughlin. Colleen, a great effort from you. Made some nice plays down the stretch, got some key free throws. You guys unfortunately weren't able to pull out the victory. Just tell us kind of offensively, you guys really kind of struggled throughout the game. What was it that they were throwing at you that was making it difficult?
It was 1-3-1 kind of got us in a stuck. We couldn't really get up. We had to struggle finding the holes and the gaps.
Definitely. And defensively, you guys played them. You played them pretty tough throughout the game. What was it defensively you guys showed them, and were able to kind of keep you guys in the game throughout?
Talking, calling out screens, communicating was really helping us out there a lot.
Definitely. And you guys are unfortunately on a little bit of a losing streak, but you got a couple games left in the regular season. What do you guys do to come out Tuesday and able to try to contest for a W?
We just got to keep our heads up high, talk on defense, keep the motivation going. I think we can pull away with the next 2 wins.
Definitely. Well, unfortunate outcome today, but good luck for you guys the last couple games of the season.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
And Anchorwomen, next game, Tuesday right here at the Murray Center against UMass Dartmouth.
I believe
And
that's a doubleheader, right? With the
that is a
Anchormen as well.
doubleheader with the Anchormen. And another conference matchup.
You always those conference wins are always so important, and if you're able to be able to pull them out, because certainly they make a big difference at the end of the season when you got seeding for the Little East tournament and whatnot. But I'm expecting a good game, and I mean, even though it was a loss today, I mean, it was a close loss, and they played a good team, and they played them tough. So I think you can look at that and try to build momentum off of that. That, you know, it was a 4-point loss, and you guys played a very good defensive game, and unfortunately weren't able to get enough offensive plays to pull it out. So
Most definitely. And after that, one more game of the regular season, which will be February 21st at Plymouth State.
and then
Plymouth State, who is also a Little East Conference game.
the 2 conference games down the stretch, always important.
As we wait for Coach Senecal, who will be over here momentarily. And he's here with us now. And we'll send it down to you, Andrew.
And here I am with Coach Senecal. Coach, it was a tough loss, but you guys you did battle back at the end, and were able to make things tight down the stretch. Just kind of touch up on defensively that they really they kind of gave you guys trouble when you were on offense and played some tough defense. What kind of looks was it that they were giving you, and how did you guys try to adjust that throughout the game to try to open up some shot opportunities?
Well, they came out with like a 1-1-3 or 1-3-1, you know, and we didn't attack it, you know, and you know, we didn't shoot the ball well in the first half. I think we shot maybe like 20% in the first half.
Yeah.
And if we knocked down a few of those shots, it's a whole different ballgame, as we saw. You know, but defensively, you know, it's hard. I mean, when you get touch fouls on one end, you know, you got to get, you know, it was disheartening.
Yeah.
The girls played hard.
No, they definitely did. And you guys played some really stingy defense throughout, and you know, they were able to pull away a little bit, but you kept yourself in the game by playing some good defense.
Yeah, we did. I thought we did a great job defensively.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I mean, we held their leading score. I mean, we you know, and the thing was, it was just offensively. We didn't make shots in the first half.
Definitely.
You know, we rebounded the ball. I think we rebounded the ball pretty well. You know,
definitely.
but we just didn't make any shots, especially in the first half.
Definitely. It's a tough loss, but you guys do have a couple games left in the season. You've got the game Tuesday night. So just kind of what adjustments do you think you need to make for Tuesday and for your last game and going forward?
Well, we got to get in the gym. We got to shoot more. And we got to shoot the ball more. We got to get in the gym and shoot. I've said to the girls all year. I says, you know, in order to become a good shooter, you got to get in the gym and shoot. You know, so
Definitely.
I mean that's the bottom line. We need to shoot the ball better. You know, we need to take care of the ball. We had 13 turnovers in the first half. I don't know how many we ended up with the game. You know, but you know, we just got to take care of the basketball, and we got to shoot the ball better.
Definitely. Well, it was a tough loss today, Coach, but I look forward to seeing you guys Tuesday, and I appreciate you as always for stopping by talking with us.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you. And that's going to wrap it up for the first game of our doubleheader, but stick around. We've got more action to come with the Anchormen coming up shortly here on Anchor TV and WXIN.